Hey everyone. So, if the last few years taught us anything, it's that technology is just everywhere in education now. We've all been through it, right? The Zoom classes, the endless digital assignments. But let's be honest, it didn't always feel like some smooth, amazing revolution in learning, did it?
Yeah, that's the big question. Why did that sudden jump to remote learning feel less like a planned leap into the future and more like, a frantic scramble? We had all the tools, the software, the platforms. So what went wrong? What was missing? And there it is. That's the key idea we're going to unpack today. See, just having the tools doesn't mean anything changes. It's kind of like giving a master chef a brand new, super high-tech oven. The oven itself doesn't guarantee a better dish. The magic is in the chef knowing exactly how and when to use that oven to completely transform the food. It's the exact same thing in a classroom.
All right, let's get into it. Because the real solution isn't just throwing more gadgets into schools. It's about being smarter, way more thoughtful about the tech we already have. It's about a whole philosophy called digital pedagogy.
So what in the world is digital pedagogy? Well, it's not a list of apps you should download or some fancy software. It's an approach. It's about educators stopping and asking, wait, why am I using this tool? And how is it actually going to help my students learn better? It's all about the how and the why, not just the what. And this table right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. A lot of what we saw during the pandemic was just substitution, swapping a paper worksheet for a digital one. But real digital pedagogy, that's about transformation. It's the massive difference between students just passively consuming information versus them actively building knowledge. The tech stops being this clunky add-on and becomes a core part of a whole new way of learning.
And this whole idea isn't some brand new fad that just popped up. It's a philosophy that's actually been growing and changing for decades, right alongside the technology itself. Just think about it for a second. In the 80s, we had those super basic computer learning games. Then the 90s brought the internet into the classroom. The 2000s gave us interactive whiteboards and those early learning management systems. And now, today, we're talking about AI personalizing learning for every single student. Each time the tech took a huge leap, our thinking about how to teach with it had to evolve too. Okay, so that's all the theory, but what does this stuff actually look like when you walk into a classroom? Let's dive into a couple of really powerful examples of digital pedagogy in action. Okay, first step, the flipped classroom. Instead of a teacher lecturing for an hour, students watch that content at home. This frees up all that valuable class time for what really matters, actually digging into problems, having deep discussions, working on projects together with the teacher right there to guide them. The whole experience gets redesigned around interaction, not just listening. Or let's look at the 4Cs framework. This is another awesome guide. Technology can be used to hit these essential skills directly. So instead of just writing another essay, maybe students create a podcast to work on their communication skills. Instead of just working alone, they use shared online documents for true collaboration. The tech becomes the engine for building those skills they'll actually need for the future. But of course, it's not always that easy. I mean, the vision is amazing, but trying to actually do digital pedagogy in the real world comes with some major hurdles. So let's get real for a minute. Yeah, putting this into practice is tough. There are some huge barriers. You've got resource issues like not enough funding, which can lead straight to the digital divide, leaving some students behind. But even if a school has all the money in the world, you still face the human element, a skills gap with teachers, or just plain old resistance to changing the way things have always been done. And this quote, this really nails it. The research is crystal clear on this point. Without a strong teaching strategy behind it, technology is just a really expensive distraction. It doesn't actually improve learning on its own. The pedagogy, the art of teaching, has to be in the driver's seat. The tech is just there to support it. Which brings us to probably the most important question any educator can ask today. It's not what's the newest, coolest app, no. It's when is technology truly the right tool for this specific learning goal? And maybe even more importantly, when is it not? A great teacher knows when a face-to-face debate, a hands-on science experiment, or even just a simple piece of paper and a pen is actually the better teaching tool. That kind of critical judgment, that is the soul of this entire philosophy. So, with all these challenges and these really critical questions in mind, how do we actually move forward? How do we start designing that classroom of the future we keep talking about? Well, there's a pretty clear roadmap, but it takes a village.
First, you have to start with the learning goals, not the shiny new tech. Then, you absolutely have to empower educators with real, continuous training and support. Of course, none of that matters without ensuring every single student has access. And finally, you need a school culture where it's okay to try new things, to experiment, and even to fail sometimes.
Because when you put all those pieces together, the real goal isn't just a classroom full of iPads. The true vision is a dynamic learning space where the teaching strategy and the technology are constantly evolving together, creating brand new ways to empower every single learner.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to take away. The question isn't if we'll use technology in education anymore. That ship has sailed. The real question is how. How are we going to build a future where our human goals for learning are always in charge, and technology is our powerful assistant, and not the other way around?